Let's start with the demo. I've written this custom WebMCP client. I'm going to run it now. You'll see a browser pop up with a mock e-commerce page. The script runs a few operations through the WebMCP client, and you'll see the logs right here on the screen as it happens. That's WebMCP, a browser calling real functions on a real web page. No clicking, no screenshots, no guessing what a button does. Google and Microsoft just shipped this. And if your first thought was, oh, that's just MCP for the browser, that assumption is going to cost you a rebuild because it's not the same protocol. It doesn't even use the same wire format. And there is one detail in here that most of the WebMCP explained videos aren't telling you. By end of this video, you'll know exactly what WebMCP is, exactly where it stops being MCP, and the part nobody's covering. Why the current spec has a security gap nobody's agreed how to close yet. Quick context first. Right now, when an AI agent operates a website, it is usually doing one of the two things. It's taking a screenshot and reading pixels, which burns tokens and is slow. Or it is scraping the raw HTML, which breaks the moment a site changes its markup. WebMCP fixes that by flipping who does the work. Instead of the agent guessing what the add to cart button does, the website just tells it. Literally, the site registers a function, gives it a name and a description and a schema, and the agent calls that function directly. It's a joint spec from Google and Microsoft going through the W3C's Web Machine Learning Group. And here's the open loop. It shares a name with Anthropic's Model Context Protocol, the thing you probably built a server for already. So is it the same thing wearing a browser costume? No. And the differences actually matter for what you build next. Here's the table that should have been in the docs on page 1. MCP, the one you know, talks over JSON RPC. WebMCP talks over the browser's post message, different transport, full stop. MCP runs as a server, Python, Node, wherever you host it. WebMCP runs inside the page itself in JavaScript. There's no backend to deploy. You write a JS function, and the browser handles turning that into something an MCP speaking agent can actually call. It's not that your page magically becomes an MCP server. The browser sits in between and does that translation for you. MCP, when it uses authorization at all, does that over HTTP with OAuth 2.1. WebMCP just inherits whatever session the user's already logged into on that site. And MCP was designed to run headless too. Servers, automations, no human watching. WebMCP is different. Chrome's own docs are upfront that while it might technically run headless, it's primarily designed for the local browser workflows with a human in the loop. That's not a small distinction. So say it with me. WebMCP is not an implementation of the Model Context Protocol. It doesn't use MCP's wire protocol at all. Same philosophy. Give an AI agent structured tools instead of a mess to guess at. It's a completely different plumbing. And they're not rivals. A company can run an MCP server for backend integrations and ship WebMCP tools for whatever an agent does inside the browser. Most serious implementations will probably end up doing both. There are two ways to expose a tool. The lazy way is declarative. You just annotate the form with a name and description. The real way is imperative. Through one API, document.modelContext.registerTool. Name, description in plain English, that's what the agent actually reads to decide when to call it. A JSON schema for the input, and an execute function that runs your real logic and returns real data. If you want to try this yourself, this is currently in an original trial in Chrome. It moved on from the early flag only preview a few versions back. Okay, here's the part I actually haven't seen in the other MCP videos. It's the one that should make you slow down. When a site wants your camera, your mic, your location, you get a pop-up. You get a choice. When a site registers WebMCP tools right now, there's no equivalent pop-up for you, the user. To be fair to the spec, it's not defenseless. By default, other sites and cross-origin iframes can't see or touch your tools at all. A developer has to explicitly opt into sharing them with another origin. There's also a tools permission policy a site can use to restrict this at the infrastructure level, the same family of mechanism that already gates camera and microphone access. But none of that is a prompt to the person actually using the browser. And the spec's own authors say This part is still being worked out. There's ongoing discussion about consent management across parties. A future request user interaction API is planned so a tool can pause and demand explicit confirmation before doing something consequential. But as of right now, that's closer to a promise than a shipped safeguard. And that's not a knock on the spec. It's early and it is moving fast. But if you're building on this, that's the one thing worth closely watching before you ship it anywhere real. Status check quickly. This is this is still early. It's currently running as an origin trial in Chrome, one step past the original flag only preview, and it's explicitly not something to build production infrastructure on yet. Formal cross-browser standardization is still ahead of it. Practical version. If you're already deep in agent tooling, it's worth an afternoon to prototype. If you're running production infrastructure, this isn't the week to bet on it. And if you've already built an MCP server before, register tool is going to feel instantly familiar. It's the same instinct, just running in a different place with the browser doing the translation for you. So, MCP and WebMCP, same idea, tools for AI agents instead of guesswork, completely different plumbing, and one of them now lives inside your browser. Here's the actual question worth sitting with. Would you want a permission prompt for this the same way you get one for your camera, or does that just become another pop-up everyone clicks through without reading? Drop your answer in the comments. I'm genuinely curious where people land on this. And if creating MCP is something that you intend to do, here's a video that you should definitely go through because here I'm creating an MCP server and a client from scratch.